it looks like good old Jennifer Lawrence is going to be backtracking what she said in a recent interview with Variety. I can't pretend like I'm surprised, considering that Jennifer Lawrence, I think, honestly, truly believed what she was saying. I don't know if it was just narcissistic behavior. I don't know if she really just. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt for being completely stupid because I know that she is. But the fact of the matter is, I think she really did believe every single word that came out of her mouth during that interview with Variety, where she basically said that she was the first ever female action hero in any movie whatsoever in the Hunger Games, that she's the one who basically started it all. And now there's been a plethora of amazing internet memes that have spawned from this, of people making fun of Jennifer Lawrence for being absolutely stupid in every way imaginable. So we're definitely going to get into the article, guys. This one's coming from Bounding Into Comics, because apparently she's now backtracking and saying that that's not what she meant to say at all. So let's get into the article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But before we do, obviously you guys see that there's some visual differences with the video that I have set up. It's going to be a work in progress. I have a lot of stuff coming in terms of animations for my, persona, and I think it's going to be cool in video. But for now, this is all I got, but there will be improvements over the next few videos to come. So it says, Jennifer Lawrence attempts to walk back her false claims about female action stars. That's certainly not what I meant to say at all. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't, Jennifer. I'm sure. Just like all the other stupid things that you said in the past, I'm sure you didn't mean to say any of those before, but let's see what she has to say. So it says Jennifer Lawrence is receiving some serious heat from movie fans after falsely claiming that Hollywood did not have a female-led action movie until 2012's The Hunger Games. Lawrence recently did a sit-down interview with actress Viola Davis for Variety and said nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't have worked. We were told girls and boys can both identify with the male lead, but boys can't identify with the female lead, which is absolutely nonsense, by the way. I just want to make that very clear. That entire statement is completely stupid. There is not a single person that I know of that hasn't been able to identify with someone of the opposite sex in a movie in some way or fashion. It is such a narcissistic thing to say, and it's a typical feminist trope that she likes to push over and over and over again because she is a hardcore feminist, in case you guys were not made aware of that. So it says, she continued, and it just makes me so happy every single time I see a movie come out that just blows through every one of those beliefs and proves that it's just a lie to keep certain people out of the movies, which is a lie in itself, to keep certain people in the same positions that they've always been in. It's just amazing to watch it happen and watch you at the helm. So, of course, she's doing her self-congratulatory thing. I mean, she's just wanting to self-congratulate herself. I don't get it. Do you guys understand like what's going on here? Like, she has to be some sort of complete psychopath to truly believe every word that's come out of her mouth. And I'm telling you, I really think that she did. I really truly believe in all of my being that she believed every single word that came out of her mouth regarding that interview. It says, after a day of intense backlash by film fans and critics alike, Lawrence is walking back her inflammably false statement about being the first female lead in an action film. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter on Thursday, Lawrence tried to clarify her comments. Well, you should have clarified it in that interview with Variety. I'm just saying. You should have did that. I don't know why you waited for another interview to clarify. And let's be real, the only reason why you're clarifying now is because you're getting a ton of backlash for it. If it wasn't for the backlash, you wouldn't have clarified at all. It says, that's certainly not what I meant to say at all, Lawrence said. I know I'm not the only woman who has ever led an action film. What I meant to emphasize was how good it feels. Oh, that's two totally different things. That is two totally different aspects of conversation. It is not the same thing. How can you even compare the two? I don't get it. It says, and I meant with that Viola to blow past these old myths that you hear about, the chatter that you would hear around about that kind of thing. But it was my blunder, and it came out wrong. I had nerves talking to a living legend. So, of course, she's just like sucking the toes of Viola Davis, all right? I mean, she was doing it during the interview. If you guys remember the video, she was doing it during the interview. She's going to do it after the interview because, of course, she's that ally. She's that strong ally, that white liberal kind of ally. It says, ironically enough, in the interview with Viola Davis, Lawrence expressed her concern with doing press interviews because she worries about how her intelligence will be received given the fact that she is middle school dropout. From my experience, the biggest hindrance to my craft has been press doing interviews. Every time I do an interview, I just think I can't do this to myself again. You sit down next to somebody, you talk for an hour and an hour and a half. A month goes by. You have no idea what they're going to use. You don't know what's going to be in context. And I just know I'm going to sound stupid. It's not going to be as articulate as it is in my mind. Well, guess what? You were right. you were completely right about you sounding stupid, because unfortunately for you, I'm not gonna pretend like you didn't articulate it well, because you said something completely different, and what you're saying you meant was totally different from what you actually said. There's no way a somewhat intelligent human being can confuse the two. It's not even close to being the same. So I don't know why anybody would want to give you the benefit of the doubt, considering that I just really believe that you thought what you said was true. It says, every time I do sit down and do an interview, I'm like, I can't do it again. I really can't. I feel like my character and I'm always very self-conscious of my intellect because I didn't finish school. I dropped out of middle school, Lawrence said. Well, it definitely shows. Davis consoled Lawrence by telling her, you're highly articulate. Yeah, well, Lawrence continued, and it's so antithetical to what I do. I don't want anybody to know or think that they know what I'm like, or that I'm at home, or that I'm supposed to be a mirror. I'm supposed to be a vessel. I'm supposed to be all these different things, and you shouldn't look at me and remember that I got married in Rhode Island a few years ago, and my husband's an art dealer, and all these things. It's so antithetical. And I feel like I lose so much control over my craft every time I do a press for a movie, she stated. I just think this is her way of trying to make people feel sorry for her and her terrible interviews that she is notorious for, okay? She's one of those actresses that is super notorious for doing terrible interviews, for having terrible takes, and people usually are just waiting to roast her, because honestly, she deserves it. In this scenario, she absolutely deserves it for even coming close to stating that she was the only female-led action hero up until her time. I think it's really insulting to all the women who actually did pave the way for women now to do female-led action hero movies. There were women well before Jennifer Lawrence who were the reason why it was even possible in the first place. It says, in a 2018 interview with 60 Minutes, Lawrence admitted that she did not finish school and opted to go into acting rather than finish her education. I dropped out of middle school. I don't technically have a GED or a diploma. I am self-educated, she said. And it's so shocking, her political leanings. It is. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's so shocking because the people usually on that side claim to be the most educated, and here we have somebody claiming to not be very educated in her own mind, and that she's self-taught, and now she's doubting herself, and of course she's a super hardcore radical left-wing liberal. Of course, it just goes to show. She continued, I struggled through school. I never felt very smart, and when I'm reading the script and I feel like I know exactly what it would look like if somebody felt that way, that was a whole part of my brain that I didn't even know existed, something I could be confident in, and I didn't want to let it go. Lawrence had no regret about her education level, stating that she wanted to forge her own path to success. I found what I wanted to do, and I didn't want anything getting in the way of it, and even friends for many years were not as important to me as my career. Over the last few years, Lawrence has taken to engaging in politics and political activism. Her activism has seen her go to war with her own parents, linking them to the bad people from World War II because of their political beliefs. She was asked by Vanity Fair's Karen Valby if her parents had forgiven her for her political beliefs. Lawrence replied, I don't know. I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, no, there were certain things in the Trump presidency. There are certain things that happened over the last 5 years that are unforgivable, and it's been wild. And let me tell you, anybody who's willing to sell out their own family because of political beliefs is really insane, in my opinion, okay? If that family member did absolutely nothing to you and the only thing they ever did wrong to you was have totally different political beliefs other than you, then clearly something must be wrong with you, because that's insane. Family should come first as long as family is taking care of you, and their politics should have nothing to do with whether or not you even speak to them, let alone insult them online. I think that's absolutely insane. So I think she got what she deserved. I think she's trying to backpedal to make herself look better, and I only see her doing worse from here. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought of today's story, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.